Welcome to the Warren Cycling Podcast. My name is Dean Warren. I'm in Amsterdam today.
I'm in Niles, Michigan.
Yeah, that's Randy Warren. You're not present in
picture. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My computer had updates, and I updated my camera out of working. so I have to figure out how to back out of the update so that I can use the camera again.
No, well, it's just great to be able to talk to you real briefly today. You've got a lot going on. Normally you're in Asheville, North Carolina, and if you follow the United States news with our weather and hurricanes that pass through, and Helen,
Helena. Some people say Helen, but I'm pretty sure it's Helena.
I think it's Helena. That's what I would pronounce it. Anyway, hurricane dumped tons of rain, flooding, trees, just tons of damage in Asheville. Wow, it's just a really big mess. And I don't know, I guess fortunate that you were away because you and your wife Carrie had the car away too. Otherwise, it would have been crushed because the tree went on your carport and it's on your house too. And so you've got a lot to take care of when you get back. And so just letting the listeners know that you're okay though. You guys are safe, not physically damaged personally. So just house and stuff damaged.
Yeah, if I was in Asheville, I wouldn't be able to do the podcast because there still isn't any power. Well, I did get a notice from the power company just minutes ago saying that we should have power by Saturday. So hopefully that'll be the case. Although they say that, but Carrie's wife says that the pole that holds the power to our house is not sturdy. It's like moving around a lot. It's like in the base of it's been broken. And then the next power pole down is completely gone. So there's not even a chance now. And I'm not sure how they're going to restore power to our house by Saturday, but without installing at least a temporary pole in that place there. So, and there's also trees on all the power lines, and they're all over the place still. So I'm not very optimistic that we'll have power at our house that quickly. And we're not even that remote. So many people I know that are remote, they can't get out of their house. There's trees down, there's roads washed out. There's just, And like you said, Carrie was fortunate because she went to work early that day, like an hour and a half earlier than normal. If she would have went to work normal that day, she probably would have had the car in the carport, it would have been crushed, and then would not be able to get out and about. And I did see some people that I knew too. One person, none of their house was touched, but all four their cars were destroyed. Wow. So, it's just all over the place still.
Such a big mess there in Asheville. So, just glad that we can talk to you.
Racing-wise, so we're supposed to have a bike race next Saturday, which has already been canceled. And then part of the Southeast Gravel Series in Tryon, they just said that even if Tryon was able to hold the race, they didn't feel comfortable having 500 plus people, racers, come to the race, inundate a community that's recovering from what's going on. And then the Hincapie Grand Fondo is supposed to be at the end of October, and they've already sent out messages out saying that they're not canceling the event at this point, but they really just don't know what's going to happen. They just need more time to see if it's possible to hold the event, if it makes sense to hold it, and just to have everybody hold tight.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you're planning to do the Hincapie Grand Fondo, then I guess you're on an email list, probably get that information that way. So, what a mess, Well, just
it's odd. I haven't talked to a ton of cyclists in the area, but I have seen Johnny Clark post. He's in Lenore. He's a little bit further from Asheville, but and some of the communities there have been just as bad or worse. There's actually literally communities that don't exist anymore. Chimney Rock, apparently there's no buildings left. The whole thing's gone. But in Lenore, Johnny was saying, hey, it's actually really nice to ride on the roads with nobody on them. So I'm not sure if he's on a gravel bike or a road bike or what it is, but if you can get out on a bike, that might be the only way. But and then again, so many roads have been taken out, and there's so many downed trees that probably an adventure at this point, no matter how you're riding.
Yeah, for sure. Wow. Well, we're just glad that we could catch up with you just a little bit. Let us have an update on that you're doing okay. That you got a little project going on coming up, so it might be a little while before you can talk to me again for the podcast if you're going to be back in the Asheville area and not have any power or internet. That'll make it difficult.
Yeah. I just tell my son that I didn't know we might have power when we go back, but we might not have internet for a while because that's a whole different system. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Crazy. Wow. Yeah, the storm passed by my area, and then within hours it was affecting your area from Sarasota all the way up to Asheville, and a big area in between. So yeah, crazy, crazy, crazy. Well, and then yeah, wow, it's pretty much almost the same time the tragedy in Switzerland with the Muriel, Swiss 18-year-old rider junior
Yeah.
racer that succumbed to her injury. So that when I arrived in Zurich, the agent said that had really cast a kind of a big shadow over the whole event. They were tempered a lot of the enthusiasm. Although I'd have to say at the race day on Sunday, the weather was pretty bad up until Sunday, but the
It was nice
Sunday,
during the time trials, but it was bad for the first road races, right?
yeah, it was just a couple of days in the road races that was bad for the juniors under 23 and the women's races. So,
Yeah.
but by Sunday, by the men's road race, which I think the majority of the fans are coming to watch that. It's packed. I arrived only when it was starting. By the time I could get to the course, they'd already started the circuit, and I just missed them going by the first time. And it was difficult to find spots where I could see the race, let alone try to take pictures. I was climbing up on walls and finding some vantage points where I
Did
could
you have a
take.
press credential or not?
I did not. No, did not have credentials. It would have been too late to. Well, it would have been difficult to pick them up at that time too, being so late. But yeah, I was up at the top of the first climb coming after the start finish, where they come into the old town part of Zurich and then head up the Zurichberg climb, which had some steep pitches, and it was a pretty decisive area for as far as the race went. And at the top there, I was finding a place so I could take pictures, and I was changing where I was going to be, and I heard my name called, Dean Warren, Dean Warren. It was your friend Kirby. Kirby had recognized me from photos, yeah. And so I got to spend time with Kirby and his other friend that lives in Switzerland. Well, Kirby's in Geneva area, I guess now, right?
They call it Switzer France.
Switzer
So
France,
it's right
yeah.
along the Swiss
But
French
he's
border. I
a
think actually
triple
in
Xer.
France. Yeah. You
Chicago
met him
triple
at the
Xer.
2016 Worlds in Richmond. So
Okay.
yeah,
Very
maybe been
well.
a
Yeah,
while.
so it was kind of fun to have someone else to talk about the race and be there and um, follow what was going on with when you're at
And you just happened to be at the same spot, so you had
yeah,
the instincts were good for that. Yeah.
yeah, with all
Just like
those
our
people
instincts with
there.
Nikos and Ben too, right? In the Olympics, we had the same instincts too to be at the right
Right.
spot. So
Yeah, so it was a pretty fascinating race because everyone expected. I mean, Tadej Pogačar had the big bullseye on his back, the favorite racer, and he would attack sometime. And after seeing some of the other races, wondering if it was decisive enough of a climb to be able to get away from some of the other riders that have been riding so strongly as of late. But maybe it was a good idea. After all, he said it was a stupid idea, and a lot of people wonder how to go with like 100 kilometers from the finish. But he caught some riders off guard, and just all the pieces fell into place for him to be able to join up with the breakaway up front. But also very key was having Jan Tratnik up there, and it also helped that he
but
had
actually
Powless.
communicating with contact,
Yeah,
that was tough too because they didn't have videos.
No race radios. I heard that a TV cameraman had said it when he went by Tratnik, so he knew.
Oh, I heard it. They said it through the feed zone. They were telling him that he had attacked to wait for him. So the team personnel were in the feed zone and somehow communicated very quickly into him. Got back from there.
No, that was amazing. That was key. Pavel Sivakov helped a little bit too, his trade teammate, a French rider for the French team, and then the combination of once the Belgians had burned out pretty much their helpers for Evenepoel, and I mean Bach Mollema was up there helping Van der Poel some, but there wasn't enough teammates yet to help pull it back, and then all the other top guys that were still chasing were not doing it in a concerted way where they were attacking each other more. And Pogačar, although he looked like he was faltering a little bit, or losing some time because it was only over a minute. It didn't have a big gap, but it got down to under 40 seconds, and then went back up a little bit. Yeah, wow, yeah.
But I
pretty
heard they were
amazing.
saying on the commentary, they were saying that when it would drop down to 35 seconds before that last climb, they thought it was Nico Roche and same person did the tour with me, but maybe anyway, but they were saying that they really felt like he was soft pedaling before the last climb, so that he could really make a big dig in the climb because he got off to 35 seconds before the last climb, and he had a minute at the top of the climb, so he must have really had
to make time.
A big dig on that one, yeah. So
Yeah,
and then the people started playing around so much so that Ben O'Connor got off with like a kilometer or like kilometer and a half to go, and he put 30 seconds in him. On distance in a really short distance. So they obviously were playing a lot of cat and mouse at that point.
Yeah, and Tom Screens, who we've had on the podcast, had a really strong year. Just no top placing, no wins, I guess, but lots of top placings on big races, and he was right there close to getting a medal, but not quite.
Well, he may be getting a medal. Did you hear that?
Oh, no, I didn't.
So Matteo Van der Poel bunny hopped as a part of the course onto the sidewalk and almost hit a fan. And there's rules against endangering fans, I guess. And so, so
they're protesting. Away pretty quickly.
Yeah, they're protesting and saying that it was an illegal maneuver. You should be penalized for that, and maybe Tom should be getting the bronze medal. So who knows? Who knows? It maybe isn't over yet. So just like I forget what was it in the Summer Olympics, the team.
Gymnastics.
Was it gymnastics or swim team? Wasn't it? Was it? Or no? Yes, figure skating.
There was one that was. They don't do figure skating in the Summer Games.
No, I know exactly. But the U.S. figure skating team from the Olympics 2 years ago.
Oh, from the Winter
Olympics. Got their medals at the Summer Olympics this year in Paris. So they protested something. The protest was, honored. It said that the U.S. team was supposed to get medals, and so they presented it. The whole figure skating men's women's team was at the Olympics in Paris this summer to receive their silver medals or something like that, or bronze medals, or in the team skating competition from 2 years ago. So you never know. So even though Tom's maybe getting a medal, at next year's World Championships for this year, or something like that. Think crazier things have happened.
Sure, I guess it could happen then. I talked to the U.S. guys afterwards. Like I said, I didn't have credentials, but I found the team bus, and so I've talked to most of them at one time or other before. Everyone except Magnus Sheffield, I think. But I did get a couple short type interviews, to talk to Kevin Vermaerke and Neilson Powless a little bit about the race, so you can listen to these interviews.
Yeah, Vermaerke was in a major move that was, this part of the 16 guys, right? They were out the front before Pikachu joined them. Yeah.
And he was up the road last year too, so he's had a strong season as well. So well, here's just a little bit about. Kevin Vermaerke thought that it was going to happen that far out. I didn't think most people thought it would, but then Neilson Powless was talking just about how tough it is to race against Tadej Pogačar too. What do you think about today's Worlds? It was not something you would expect so far out from someone like Tadej Pogačar, but I guess not something that you can't fathom because he's done before. But at a World Championship, I don't know. I don't think anybody predicted he would go so far out.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I did expect it, and I think some of the other nations did too, and that was why a lot of teams tried to get up the road pretty early, and I made it in a move that got a little bit of time, and in the end it was perfect. Pogačar bridged up, and he had Tratnik with him to pull, and on the climb everyone knew he was going to go, and I just couldn't quite follow. But the races open up so early nowadays that you always have to try and be getting up the road.
Yeah, well, last year you were out front, had a great Worlds. This year out again, you've had a really good season. You're looking forward to the next ones?
Yeah, I have 3 more races in Italy, and they all suit me pretty well. So, I'm really excited to finish off the season strong.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
All right, Neilson, just give us a recap from the Team USA today, because you guys were all at the front
looking really good. Just, Tadej Pogačar's outerworldly, huh?
Yeah, it was definitely the Tadej show today. We tried to get ahead of it, attack early. The morning break wasn't quite strong enough to go with, and Kevin followed a really good move to try to get ahead. I also tried to get ahead, but unfortunately it was at probably the worst possible time in the race to try to go for myself. But in the end, Quinn rode a really strong race, so it was good to have him up there, but I think Tadej was just unbeatable today.
Yeah, for sure. How about the conditions, though? Are you happy to see that there was not the rainy conditions of the last couple of days?
Yeah, we had a beautiful day out there. I was really, really happy that there was no rain. I think we could all enjoy it a little bit more that way.
Just not so much you can do when someone's that much stronger. I mean, the U.S. riders were actually feeling the pains right away because Quinn Simmons was the one trying to follow Tadej Pogačar when he was attacking, and I think Matteo Jorgensen said before, like, if you get too close to the sun, you get burned or something like that. So
when Quinn Simmons went, and then I forget who else went with them, and Quinn dropped off first, and then the other person stayed with them almost to the top of the climb, and then Tadej looked back and motioned for him to come through, and he just shook his head, and Tadej gave this look of disgust, like what? That's all you have? You're just sitting on my wheel. You can't come and take a turn to the pole, and he rides in what appears to be an effortless way. So he looks like he's not even going very hard. So the dichotomy between what Tadej looks like and what the people on his wheel look like is very stark.
Yeah. Well, Kevin Vermaerke said he was doing 700 watts, and there was still a couple more minutes of the climb to go. So he's like, can't do that. So yeah. But I did try to get Quinn Simmons to talk a little bit more about, because he had a phenomenal race for where he's been this year. But he only let me ask him one question. I couldn't figure out what question would produce a big answer. But I was just wanting to know where he feels he is for being at this level again. So I asked him this question.
Do you feel like you're really back at the level that you've been before now, really racing very well today in this World Championship race?
Yeah, this is the best I've ever been, and it's only going to get better.
Thanks, Quinn.
So if you, I guess, I don't know, if you read into it, he says he's back to where the high level that we were hoping that he would be. And since it's the end of the season, we'll probably see until next year. But he has gone through some rough patches, but maybe he will continue to progress and enjoy racing. That's a big thing, though. When after the Gino Mader, Switzerland is a rough place for racing the last couple of years, but after the Gino Mader tragedy, he had a tough time recovering from that. And yeah, hopefully Quinn Simmons will. And he's still really young. He's got probably a lot of good years in him. So he's always done well at Strade Bianche, but and the one tour he was trying to stay on Wout van Aert's wheel that one time on a breakaway and couldn't hold on. But yeah, I think he'll be a definitely rider that has races like he thought this course actually did suit him pretty well, but because the climbs weren't super long, and yeah, he did really well.
Yeah, and he's a former junior world champion, and
2019 Yorkshire.
Yeah, the expectations when you do that well that early are pretty high, so it's pretty tough. And it wasn't Magnus Sheffield was second or third, wasn't he, that year too? So is that right? No, Magnus Sheffield wasn't. Who was it that was that year? I tried to look it up real quick here on my computer, but it does not show it here. So it was what year was it? 2019.
2019 Yorkshire.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
So no, it was Magnus Sheffield. Yeah, Magnus Sheffield was third place. Yeah. So that's right. I was thinking Magnus Sheffield was 23 years old, but maybe he was younger at that point. So
yeah.
But yeah, he's 22. I guess Magnus is 22. Quinn's 23.
Ashland Berry. We didn't talk about Ashland Berry that for the juniors. He was not even turning 17 yet. He was turning 17 during the World Championships, and he got fifth. And you seemed a little disappointed that he could have been better, maybe, but he's got another year of juniors.
Yeah, and he's certainly high expectations for him, and I think of himself too. So Yeah, and it's kind of good that he's disappointed in fifth, even though our expectations might not have been, that he would completely take, we get a win already at 17, just turning 17, so he's younger for sure, but yeah, for sure. I think the most exciting race that I looked at for the weekend was the women's race, though. The women's race was, but yeah, I didn't see. I was watching it on a really bad internet connection, and so I just kept getting bits and pieces of it over time. So it was hard to follow. I'd like to watch the replay, but that race though too. I mean, a lot of Kopecky was dropped and off the back, and really had no chance to win, and then yet somehow got back to the group. And then
Chloe Dygert helped her get back at one point.
Yeah, at one point, yeah. The first time, yeah, and then the last time though, Chloe was back with someone else, and it was Lippert that she was with at that point.
Rose Gorman,
yeah, maybe Roseman Garment. Yeah, that's who it was. Yeah, Australian. Yeah, and they were the last two to join on, and they would not have caught on except for the cat and mouse that was going on in that lead group. And then right when Lisa Longoner Bikini jumped early, really early, it looked like it was going to be more power than tactics at that point then, because she jumped so early. And Chloe Dygert jumped almost the same time as Lotta Kopecky on different sides, and Lotta's just got a better sprint. But Chloe was able to use her power just to be able to, because of less of a sprint. But did you see though after the race she laid on the ground and her leg was twitching uncontrollably, and they had to put some kind of sleeve on it, and it's obviously that was the leg that she crashed on. Yeah, so dramatically in Italy a couple years ago during her defense of her first World Time Trial Championship, and so that's still obviously bothering her, but still quite an amazing performance by Chloe. So
very gutsy performance for sure.
Yeah, and she re-signed now too.
A couple more years with Canyon. Yeah, I think she's going to do more road racing next year too. So she's had a more limited road race schedule as she focused a lot on the Olympics. But yeah, hopefully she'll get some chances to do well next year.
Yeah, she's had health issues too. Last year she had an Achilles issue that really bothered her for a long time, and was supposed to be at the Tour Down Under, didn't go to that, or whatever it's called now, the Santos Tour, or whatever it's called now. And so she delayed her European road season by a couple months dealing with that injury. So if she could have a healthy year, I think then that'd help her for sure, is just being able to be consistent and perform well.
Yeah, but she came away with the bronze in the time trial and the silver in the road race. So that's pretty good world championships, I would say.
Yeah, she's got to be happy, if not satisfied, because she is the two-time world champion in the time trial. I'm sure she'd like to have done that again. This course might have been it had a little bit of climb in it. It didn't seem too
Grace
much.
Brown though was just
Grace Brown. I mean, really
her last year,
right. Yeah, and she's not in her these are to win the Olympics and World Championships in the same year, and a career that those are highlights for sure for anybody. But she's not had a super stellar career. She's had a stellar career for sure, a good solid career, but she hasn't won a ton of really big races. But then to win two of the biggest time trials, certainly, that she could possibly win, it was quite the way to go out.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, I promised it was going to be a short one. We're going to cut this off here and let you get back to helping out around the house, because you're there with our parents that are in their 90s, and it's a good chance for you to be able to spend time with them and give them some assistance and help them around the house. And also, for the first time since we've been podcasting, our favorite baseball team, the Detroit Tigers, are in the playoffs this year. They qualified for the playoffs for the first time since we started podcasting in 2016. They hadn't been in the playoffs since 2014. Yeah.
I got to see a game last Thursday. A week ago today. Is today Thursday? No, today's Wednesday, right? Today's Wednesday. So yeah, a week ago on Thursday we saw them come from behind victory too. So it was classic Tiger win. So, and they're up.
It's American baseball. If you're watching and listening to us from overseas, it's America's game that we grew up watching and enjoying. But it's been a long dry spell for our team. So, well, I pulled up the birthday list from October 2nd. It's episode 367 today, and we're already on October 3rd here where I am in Amsterdam. But I've got we'll just look at, I've got you won't even be able to see, but it's Jeff Evenshine's birthday on the 2nd.
Oh, is it just?
Yeah,
Former
Jeff said
teammate
that's
of
right.
mine. So Jeff
Yeah.
Jeff was a teammate of mine on Belo Avante. Won junior world championships in what year? 1989, 1990. Do you see it?
No, because I can't pull it up anymore.
You
I'm
can't
not.
pull it, yeah. Well, we can put
Yeah,
it here.
it's 51.
Yeah. 51. Wow. Jeff Valentine. So it's funny because
Yeah.
like when he was on my team, he was just this little kid. So that was back. That was a back
He's grown
when
up now.
before internet too. So when he was junior world, racing in junior world champion, he raced for Bellavante, then he raced for the national team. And he used to have a folder that he would go to school and he would turn that folder in with the homework he completed. They would give him a new folder, and then he'd be gone for several weeks, and then he would just do the homework that was in it and then turn that in. And that's how he got through his high school years, And then when he won junior world championships, he raced for Spago the next year. So
Wow.
yeah, not a huge big team. He did race for, it says he raced for Saturn here too, in 96, 97. But I raced with him, back again at Bellavante. It must have been 1990. I was looking right now to see where maybe 91. 91. He won the world championship in 91. So yeah. That was a good year too. Fred Rodriguez was held in the United States, Colorado Springs. So Fred Rodriguez was his teammate, and he was sixth, but he helped Jeff win that. And then the deal was that year, World the 4 national championships. So whoever won Worlds, Jeff and then Freddie were pretty sure one of them would win. So they said whoever doesn't win Worlds, they have to help the other one win nationals. So Freddie won nationals then in '91 as a junior.
Wow.
And so so. And we did a podcast.
Well,
Freddie's birthday too, I think, this year.
Yeah, just recently. Paula McNamara celebrating her birthday as well with Daniel Vargas is 23 and Christopher Case 47, the other Americans celebrating the birthday on October 2nd. All right, Randy. Well, I'm glad that you're safe. Hope you get back to Asheville and can get things cleaned up, and it won't be too long before you have internet and we can talk again about the end of the season. We got a few one-day races coming up in Italy, and I'm hoping. Well, I'm planning to get to Lombardia and see Teddy race in his rainbow stripes.
Is he gonna do that? Is he doing it? Yeah. All right.
Yeah, he's supposed to. All right. All right. Well, thanks, Randy, for making time. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Bye.